Hello, and welcome to the latest in our series of HPE webinars. This time, we're discussing everything as a service, an infrastructure model that includes every tech element a business may need for one monthly price. We'll be covering what it is, who it's for, and why it could be better than buying equipment outright in a hybrid cloud world. So, let's get started. Today's IT market is very different to the one that existed 5 years ago. It's practically a different industry entirely to 15 years ago. This change is going to keep happening too. As we move into the 2020s, there will be major steps taken to redefine what the IT industry does, how it works, and how it spends its time. Of course, agility, the ability to adapt to needs, and price predictability are a key focus. But security will always be priority number one for the vast majority of CTOs. In the era of GDPR, a breach can potentially kill a small business. So ensuring everything is safe and up to date in a world where attacks are only going to get more frequent requires a new way of thinking. Modern world is already a digital one. The old analog ways of doing things, methods most of us grew up with, are quickly becoming outdated. Speed, quality, and the overall experience is now the key factor for any business decision. To meet today's business demands, IT has to divert resources towards innovation, strategy, and development, meaning they must more naturally move away from day-to-day concerns and look at the bigger picture. So, how do you take the pressure off them so they can make this idea a reality? Everything as a service isn't just a new revenue stream or business plan. XaaS is an entirely new strategic blueprint that is going to upend business and operational models. Why should customers pay significant upfront costs for major pieces of equipment that will immediately start on a path to obsolescence? Everything as a service is a way of preventing that. Thanks to cloud advances, it's no longer necessary for the vast majority of businesses to have on-site servers, although some still will, for sure. So why not remove the cost of purchase, power and maintenance, and instead free your IT team up and potentially see a better ROI by shifting to a cloud or hybrid model? The same is true for every item on this list. Westcoast Financial Services, and HPE can provide just about any computing capability you need, from laptops and desktops to the specialist software on those laptops. And everything is decided upon based on what you need at the time. In order to fully ensure deployment of new technology meets the customer business needs, Westcoast have a variety of free tools to analyze the current estate and review the options open to the customer. The key word is flexibility, and there's plenty of options to choose from. Everything as a service only works if it provides everything you need, nothing more, nothing less. Obviously, different businesses have different needs, so different packages will serve them better. The first of the three HPE GreenLake options is flex capacity, a hybrid model which lets users continue to host on-site servers for absolute maximum security, but opens up the cloud benefits of fast deployment, scalability, and pay-per-use economics. It also moves the burden of responsibility for the server's well-being to HPE and Westcoast. It's a pretty powerful first step towards a full private cloud architecture for some businesses. This is the Everything as a Service cloud package from HPE GreenLake. It brings together HPE reference architecture, pre-configured with best-of-breed software and expert services. It's a complete infrastructure or database solution designed, curated and operated for you without taking up any space in your offices. The benefits of this system are pretty obvious. Devices are always up to date and can boast a near 100% operating time. Realistically, this option maximizes the benefits of cloud without jeopardizing security or accessibility. It's also the most flexible system, with HPE and Westcoast experts working to accelerate business outcomes for all users. Now, the range of businesses that would benefit from such a solution is vast, but smaller businesses where space is crucial and large businesses spread across multiple offices would likely see the biggest benefits. It all depends on how ready they are to embrace the idea of not being able to see their data. This is the model that GreenLake is known for. It's essentially an entire bespoke approach where we help your customer design and deploy the perfect mix of cloud products for your business needs. At this point, I'd just like to say that if you want to get a good understanding of the right mix of hybrid cloud, we've done a previous webinar that goes into more depth on that subject. I won't go into too much detail here, but essentially this model means a customer gets support in the operation and management of both cloud and local IT, meaning their IT team don't have to worry about cost, security and compliance controls. We do it all on their behalf. And like every other approach here, it's all for one monthly cost where you only pay for what you use. So, those are the three major options you can offer to customers. Now you need to find out exactly what they need in order to make the right choice. To make that right choice, you need to ask the right questions and really understand what your customers are looking for and leverage the Westcoast tools and expertise at your disposal. Every GreenLake option solves the problems posed by these questions to a certain extent, with some being more impactful than others, depending on the customer drivers. Upkeep costs, for example, a hybrid or conventional everything as a service solution will offer some reduction thanks to new machinery that's more reliable, as well as support and analytics from HPE and Westcoast, who can make sure servers are always running at peak levels. But naturally, if a customer is primarily worried about upkeep costs, a full cloud solution will remove that concern almost in its entirety. Finding out the core challenges, the core concerns, beyond what the customer might initially want, is how you'll ensure they're satisfied in the long term. And if you need any help convincing them, I'm pretty sure these statistics will go a long way. We mentioned this earlier, but it's worth repeating. By 2020, 40% of enterprise IT infrastructure spending will involve consumption-based procurement in data centers. This is just another sign of the service economy becoming the norm, not a strange new challenger. I bet that every single one of you has at least one subscription, be it Netflix, Amazon Prime, Spotify, Xbox Live Gold, or something else. It's only natural this would come to IT as well. It's the best way for modern businesses to take the stresses and pressures of the past off the table and ensure they're always up to date and able to proactively adapt to the pace of change. With HPE GreenLake in particular, you can offer incredible levels of support and management capabilities. Essentially, users are hiring IT professionals to do the mundane work, so the in-house team can focus on creating new and exciting offerings and business strategies. You can't do this well without embracing some level of the services economy model. It's also worth remembering your customers might not own the servers, but every scrap of data they put on them is 100% theirs. It doesn't matter which model they choose, that will always be the case. In all instances of new EaaS deployments, it's always worth considering what the customer plans to do with legacy technology they hold title to. We can review current IT hardware and obtain market valuations and buybacks or trade-ins in a fully agnostic motion, any product, any vendor. On return of the assets, they are data wiped with full accreditation and disposed of in line with WEEE regulations. You or the customer will receive certification to evidence this. Now, we've clearly covered why HPE GreenLake is the right operation for your customers, but they must be something in it for you too. There just has to be. And if 95% customer retention rate doesn't get your attention, I'd be surprised. But it's the simplicity that really stands out to me. The idea of EaaS could make you think that you have so much extra work to do, so your customers don't have to. But that just isn't the case at all. We have handy tools in place to manage everything from initial costings through to billings and maintenance, making the whole sale and aftercare process as simple as possible for you. This is a fantastic way to change how your business operates. Instead of pushing one-off sales, you can benefit from assured revenue that recurs every month. It's better for financial planning and better for your business in the long run. So that's the HPE side of things. What about our side? Now, most of you watching this webinar will already be familiar with Westcoast and the services we offer, but just to reiterate, the reason why we're able to provide the best brands to resellers at competitive prices is because of the excellent levels of customer support and value add we offer. Brands like HPE simply wouldn't work with a business that didn't provide the level of support they expect. We always look to exceed that expectation. I won't touch on every point on this slide, but we'll expand on a few. I think that a close relationship really is key to what we offer. We work to become an extension of businesses like HPE, making sure our staff know the brand and products inside out so that we can provide the support and training you and your customers need. I also think that a consultative approach is important to mention. There really is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all solution in this business. So it's important that we listen to you and come to a consensus on the exact needs of your customer. That's the best way to get the right result. And finally, I just want to mention about readiness and enablement. We're not Amazon. We're a bit more than a giant warehouse full of boxes you can order. Although delivery is a big part of our business, what makes us different to other distributors is the efforts we make to make the whole process as painless as possible. We'll help train your customers. We'll safely dispose of their own sensitive data. We'll set up the new devices to work straight out of the box. Whatever it takes to make your job as easy as possible, we'll do it. Well, that's about everything from me, other than to say thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.